Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're working on Project Slate. We're going to be doing some just general maintenance. We're going ahead and doing the rear differential fluid. Don't know when it was done on this truck. Truck has 221,000 miles. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. And yeah, this is it. It's a 2001 Ram 3500. So without further ado, let's hop on down and check it out. So as you can see, this is it. Pretty basic, nothing crazy going on here. We're going to be going ahead and putting in amsoil severe gear, 75 weight 90, and then it also requires some differential additive that we're going to be putting in there as well. Not this whole thing. I believe it's about half of this container, but I got to double check before we put it in. So first thing we're going to start with, we're going to go ahead and remove all these bolts going on around here, and this thing looks pretty beat up, so I'm probably going to repaint it as well while I'm down here. And yeah, guys, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. That's the hole right there for... Sorry, that's the hole right there for the hitch on the top side, but doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna put you on time lapse. We're gonna get all these bolts out. Went ahead and pop that off. This fluid does not smell awesome, but that's just differential fluid in general. So as you can see, nice and dark, which means it's probably due for a change. This thing was an absolute turd to get off. The way they designed this, everything is flush all around here. And the problem with that is you can't really get anything to pry it open. So if I could do this again, I'd say get like a chisel or something with a very fine tip so you can get a corner worked up. Hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and pop this off and see what it looks like. See, definitely a beefy rear end. Let's see what all this crap is. A lot of buildup and gunk. Looks like she's dirty, but functional rear end. This is by far not the worst. Seen some pictures of these things online where it's like pure, just trash comes out. So, good enough. I think what we're gonna go ahead and do now, we're gonna clean up all these surfaces. And we're going to go ahead and stick this bad boy back on. Here's our, I guess this is our fill bolt right here. So you can see it's all metal gunk stuck on the magnet. So it's not too bad, but it's definitely got some wear and tear on it. Nothing crazy though, nothing really unexpected. It's about how they usually look coming out. Hey guys, pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and take this down to the workbench and get it all cleaned up to go back on. Get all the surfaces cleaned up, as you can see. Just gotta wait a little bit longer for that paint to dry back down at the workbench, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring that cover up and stick it back on. So far so good. Really not that bad of a job, but this thing is freaking huge. This is my fist, and this diff is ginormous, but that's what you get with a 3500. So for any of you wondering, this is one of the reasons that I went for a bigger truck versus trying to beef up the Avalanche. because like stuff like this you just can't make fit properly in a 1500, and this is one of the things that was going to be a shortcoming of the Avalanche. Alright, stiff cover is dry now. As you can see, looks a lot better than it did before. You can just see some of the concaveness and everything. So we're going to go ahead and paint it up. Really not too worried about cleaning up the inside of this too much. I mean, it is what it is, just diff fluid, so whatever. And we're going to go ahead and use this stuff, black RTV silicone. Got this from Harbor Freight, pretty good stuff. And we're just going to throw this around here and throw it back on the truck. So the directions for the RTV, pretty much any RTV, this is kind of a universal deal, is all you're going to do is make sure that you put a solid bead around it. It doesn't have to be super thick. This stuff spreads out pretty thin. As you can see, I've got some leaching out around here, which is fine. That's what you want. So put on your bead of RTV, go ahead and press it up, finger tight all the bolts, and you're going to let it sit for about an hour or so. That's what's on the directions. And then after that, you can come back and torque it down. And I'm going to do the same torque I usually do on the Mustang differential, because all it is a cover, it's nothing crazy. So we're just going to do 25 foot-pounds, and that's what we're going to do after this sits for about an hour. So we'll come back then. It's been an hour, and we're going to go ahead and torque all these down real quick. Going to be 25 foot-pounds, nothing too crazy. And then we just got to let it sit until everything dries, which according to the directions take 24 hours. On that note, I've seen a lot of people fill these things up without waiting that long, so I think I'm going to take a chance and go ahead and do that. If it leaks, then, well, I'll have to do it again. But if it doesn't leak, that means I can continue doing this in the future, because it's kind of a long time to wait and definitely kind of irritating. So that's the plan. Went ahead and got the plug pulled out, as you can see right here, nothing crazy. And that is our fill plug. So this capacity of this diff is 4 quarts of amsoil, or 75 weight 90. I'm using amsoil, obviously, as I said earlier. This stuff, just some AutoZone stuff, nothing crazy. It says that it treats up to 4 quarts, which is good because that's how many we have here. So we're going to go ahead and dump some of this stuff into each one of these, just in case it doesn't take all of 4. I want to make sure I don't over-treat it. It's actually a thing. And it should be good to go. Well, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Nothing crazy, just changing out the rear differential fluid in the truck. So far, so good. I have some more parts on the way to hopefully take care of my cold start issue I've been talking about in previous vids. If you haven't checked them out, feel free to do so. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and I'll get back with you if I can. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.